Alright, so did you manage to do it or did you not? Anyway, we will show you the answer. But basically, you need to keep track of several things here. Number one, you need to keep track of number of attempts. And it will be 0 from beginning. Also, you need to know what number the player 1 has in mind. So the number to guess. And let's say that this is 0 from the beginning also. And let's have int current guess. So this will be the number that the player 2 currently guessed. So let's have it at 0. And at the start, let's have the software say the following: welcome to the game. And then you have some, let's do some end lines like this. Welcome to the game. And now you have player 1, please select a number. Like this. And now player 1 needs to input a number. And so we use cin and we have the number to guess, like this. And then what you can have is that you can write player 2, please guess the number. However, something to realize is that we need to do this over and over and over again. We do not know how many times player 2 will guess. Maybe player 2 will guess the first time and it will be the correct number. Maybe player 2 will guess 10 times and then only will player 2 get the correct number. And so therefore you realize that we cannot use a for loop, because in a for loop, you need to know exactly what is the end condition. I mean, here we had a condition that counter needs to be less than number of cars, and if it is not true, the loop breaks. But in this case, we have no idea how many tries player 2 will need. So therefore, we write while true. And this basically means that this while loop will continue forever. It will never ever end, because you remember that, I mean, in this example we had an expression here while counter is less than 1,000 and it evaluated to true while counter was less than 1,000, but we can just write true here and this will always be true and this will just continue and continue looping. And so for you to understand why we write true here, you really need to understand the Boolean connection to while loops. And this is something we talked about way back in JavaScript. And this is something we also talked about when we talked about that this is an expression that evaluates to true or false. And instead of having an expression, we can just write true. And so this will continue forever. However, in here, we will break the loop when player 2 has guessed correctly. So this is how we will end the loop, because of course you do not want to have an infinite loop without breaking it, because it will never end. So inside here you want to write player 2 please guess the number, and then player 2 will try to guess the number. So we'll have cin current guess, and if current guess is more than the number to guess, then we write cout too high, guess lower, like this. Else if current guess is less than the number to guess, then then we write too low, guess higher. Or else, I mean, if it is not higher and if it is not lower, then we write, because this means that the player has guessed the number, you guessed correctly, like this. And then we have break. So this break is crucial here, because we are breaking when player 2 has guessed correctly, like this. So let's see this in action. Okay, player 1, select a number. Let's select 5. Player 2, please guess the number. And so we can try 0. Too low, guess higher. And you see this happens. Too low, guess higher. And then from this line, we jump all the way back here because we have an infinite loop. We have an infinite loop that never ends if we do not enter here. And so let's guess 1, too low, guess higher, 2, 3, let's guess 4, too low, guess higher. Now let's guess 6. You have too high, guess lower. Let's guess 7, too high, guess guess lower. But now if I enter 5, you see we have the output you guessed correctly, and we have break, and so this while loop ends and there is nothing more, and we have return 0. So guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you understand this. I hope you understand what we just did, and I hope you understand the reason why while loops are important sometimes, and why we use them. That being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.